Hello and welcome to the channel. The Raven and the Fox. Very short questions with their answers. Who are the two main characters in the poem? The Raven and the Fox. Where is the raven sitting at the beginning of the poem? On a tree limb. What does the raven have in its beak? A morsel of food. What does the fox want from the raven? The food in the raven's beak. How does the fox try to trick the raven? By flattering its appearance and asking it to sing. What happens when the raven opens its beak? The food falls to the ground. Why does the fox laugh at the raven? Because the raven foolishly lost its food. What lesson does the fox teach the raven? To not be deceived by flattery. What kind of bird is the raven? A large black bird known for its intelligence. What is the fox known for in fables? Being cunning and clever. What is the moral of the poem? Do not trust flattery, as it can be deceptive. What literary device is used when the animals speak? Personification. What does the word morsel mean in the poem? A small piece of food. What is the tone of the fox's speech? Flattering and deceptive. How does the raven feel before opening its beak? Proud and happy. What happens to the raven's pride? It leads to its downfall. What is the fox's real intention? To trick the raven and steal the food. Why does the fox call the raven handsome? To flatter and deceive it. What type of poem is The Raven and the Fox? A fable. Who wrote The Raven and the Fox? Jean de La Fontaine. Which character is vain in the poem? The raven. Which character is clever? The fox. Why does the raven believe the fox's words? Because it enjoys the compliments. What mistake does the raven make? It opens its beak and loses its food. How does the fox use words as a weapon? By using flattery to manipulate the raven. Is the fox truly admiring the raven? No, it is only pretending. What could the raven have done differently? Ignored the fox's flattery. How do we know the fox was lying? Because it only wanted the food. What does the raven learn from this experience? Not to trust false compliments. Who wins in the end? The raven or the fox? The fox. What does the fable warn against? The dangers of vanity and flattery. What happens when the people believe in false praise? They can be tricked or deceived. How does the fox show intelligence? By using flattery to get what it wants. How does the raven show foolishness? By falling for empty praise. What real life lesson can we learn from this fable? Be cautious for people who flatter for personal gain. What does this fable teach about pride? Too much pride can lead to mistakes. What would happen if the raven ignored the fox? It would have kept its food. Why do people enjoy fables? They teach important moral lessons in a simple way. How do fables like this one help children? They teach valuable life lessons through stories. What is another famous fable with a similar lesson? The tortoise and the hare, teaching patience and hard work. What is the main conflict in the poem? The fox deceives the raven to steal its food. What happens at the very end of the poem? The fox eats the food and laughs at the raven. Why does the fox wait patiently under the tree? It knows the raven will fall for the tree. Does the fox feel guilty for tricking the raven? No, it is pleased with itself. What does the fox say after stealing the food? That the raven should not trust flattery. Would the fox have used the same trick on another bird? Yes, if the bird was vain like the raven. What makes the poem easy to understand? It uses simple language and clear storytelling. Why do animals in fables often represent human traits? To make the lessons easier to relate to. What is the main theme of The Raven and the Fox? Deception and vanity. Why is The Raven and the Fox still popular today? Because its lesson is timeless and relevant. Thank you very much.